there, folks. Welcome back to Rule of Thumb. Today I'm doing something a little different. I am going to do what my friend Heather says is a chitty chat video. And I'm going to do a little pantry chat about building a pantry. In this time when, we've been dealing with a lot of craziness and things going on, people are being awakened to... Do you need to talk to the people? Sorry, I have a cat that feels like he needs to be part of the video. People are being awakened to issues of food security and being more prepared and stocking a pantry and having a pantry. I have a lot of friends that have never really had a pantry. They've shopped for a week or 2 weeks or maybe a month at a time. And that was it. They've done meal plans and all those type of things. So a lot of them have come to me. I've had subscribers ask me questions. I've had friends, family. So I thought it was worth doing a video and kind of talking about what I do. And this is the important thing. So the first thing that I tell everybody that comes to me and asks me, how do I build a pantry? How do I have a pantry like yours? How did you build your pantry? The first thing is this is my pantry. Your pantry is not going to look like my pantry. Everybody's pantry is going to be different. My friend Heather, her pantry is different than mine. My friend Mandy, her pantry is different than mine. We are all in constant communication with each other. We talk about it all the time, but it still doesn't change the fact that we stock different things. So that kind of leads me into my first topic, which is the most important advice I can give people about building a pantry is you should not be putting anything in your pantry that you do not normally eat. Okay? This is very important. I can't tell you how many people I know have downloaded a list off of the internet of what is needed to build a prepper's pantry, only to get all the stuff in their house. Hang on, my cat is really obnoxious. He needs to be able to walk through the pantry and out the door. The door is behind me. I don't know what to tell you. Anyways, so a lot of people download this list off the internet. They think that's what they should buy. They buy it, they get it in their pantry, and they don't know what to do with it. It's a problem. Because now you've spent money that you could have put in other areas on food that not only do you not know how to cook, but you may never cook because you may not even like it. So my second kernel of wisdom, I guess, is all it takes to build a pantry. Now this is real simple, so hold on to yourselves. All it takes to build a pantry is to buy more of what you already buy. Let that sink in. It's just that simple. Buy more of what you already buy. So, if you already buy things like canned green beans, French style green beans are something that I love. Now, I can regular green beans, but I like French style green beans, and I don't like to fuss around with doing them and canning them because it's a whole separate process. Wow, he is really loud. I'm so sorry. Come here and say hi. You want to come and say hi? Sorry. I don't know what to tell you. He's very vocal. So French style green beans is something that I like to have on the shelf. So it's something that I stock. Cream of mushroom soup, cream of chicken soup. In fact, I think this way, behind my head. Behind my head. That's what's on the shelf. So if I spin around here, this shelf is all store-bought canned goods. And they are typically things that I don't can. Or maybe backups to things that I can. So it's stuff like cream corn, which we like once in a while, or I cook with once in a while. French style green beans, whole potatoes and sliced potatoes. I can potatoes, but I also like to have them in cans as a backup. Cream of mushroom soup, cream of chicken soup, cream of celery. These are all things, me being a boy from Wisconsin, that's where I grew up. Anybody that is from Wisconsin or has lived in Wisconsin knows you could go to any house in Wisconsin and there will be a can of cream of mushroom soup in the cupboard, because you never know when you're going to need to make a casserole. And cream of mushroom soup is the key to any casserole. So those types of things I keep on the shelf. Some sauces and stuff like that. Sometimes I'll buy store-bought sauces, although you all know I love to create a sauce. So it's key to just buy the things that you know you're going to use. Pasta. I always have a ton of pasta on my shelf. We love pasta. Instant potatoes. I love the Idahoan brand instant potatoes. I love them more than I like making regular mashed potatoes. So I buy them because we like them. We enjoy them. I'm looking around at other things. I mean, I can a lot of stuff. You all know this. I love to can my own stuff. I have a baking section. I don't bake a ton, but I have stuff that I can bake. I have flour, I have sugar, I have yeast, I have salt. I have all the things that I could make, bread, pasta, and all of the things if I needed to. I don't keep a huge backstock of it because I'm not a baker. If you're a baker, you're going to keep more of that stuff on hand. So again, I go back to number one and number two. Number one, don't buy stuff because somebody else bought it. Number two, buy more of what you already buy. These two things are the key to a pantry. If somebody tells you, you can build a pantry without spending any money, that's a lie. It's a lie. I'm sorry. There's no truth to that. You have to spend money to build the pantry. I have an incredibly well-stocked pantry. I don't show my pantry on my channel because I just don't. It's not something I've ever shared. I don't know that it's something I ever will share. This glimpse you're getting behind me is probably the closest thing you'll get to it. It's not something I'm interested in doing. But I do have a well-stocked pantry. I would say we could comfortably eat off our pantry for a year. Probably longer if I stretched it out. And that didn't happen overnight. I didn't have a year's worth of pantry stock from the beginning. It started out with cleaning out one cabinet and filling one cabinet. When that cabinet got full, we were in an apartment. So I bought a bin that slid under the bed. Then I bought another bin that slid under the bed. Then I bought a set of shelving that went in the coat closet up front so I could have more room. And then there was a set of shelving that went in our master bedroom closet so I could have more room. And then some in the guest room closet. We had shelves everywhere in our apartment that had different things on it. Because every time I would go, I would look for things that were on sale but were things that I already purchased. And that's number three. One of the biggest tactics that I see being kind of furthered by the masses is stock your pantry by buying, 30 of this when it's on sale and you can use a coupon. Again, I go back to number one, don't buy what you don't eat. I go back to number two, buy more of what you do. And number three is, you can't do that by stocking up on random things and using coupons. You got to put the money into it. But you can still look for sales. You can look for bargains. You can ask for bargains. seconds. Okay, so prime example. This past weekend, we were at a farm stand. I saw a sign there that said, "Ask about seconds." So I said, "Hey, what are seconds?" I kind of already knew, but I thought I'm going to ask. And he said, "Oh, it's apples that are bruised or not perfect or whatever." And I needed to do some applesauce because I hadn't done any in a couple of years. And I use applesauce primarily as a baking ingredient. I like to bake with it instead of oil. That's what I use in my zucchini bread. And so I ended up getting just shy of a full bushel of apples for $15 because they were seconds. So sometimes it's just about asking the question. If you're in a small town or you have a local grocery store, get to know your produce manager, get to know your meat manager. They'll let you know when there's going to be specials and stuff like that. Meat, again, don't buy a whole bunch of meat that you don't know what to do with it. Stock your staples. I have ground beef, I have ground turkey, I have chicken breasts, I have roasts, I have stew meat. I have some steaks for special occasions. We don't eat steak as a regular meal. It's more of a celebratory item for us, or when we're feeling fancy and we want to have something nice. But I buy those on sale. I have whole chicken. I typically will have a turkey in my freezer, although I don't right now. I actually canned my last one. But it's all things that I know I'm going to use. I keep frozen vegetables on hand because I like the green beans. The extra fine green beans that I get at Aldi are one of my favorite veggies. Spiralized carrots I love to use in a lot of different dishes. I buy those frozen. Broccoli, cauliflower, frozen peas. Frozen corn. I keep a little bit of that on hand. We don't eat a ton of corn. I did can some corn. Like I said, I buy some cream corn. So, again, it's buying more of what I already use. And also diversifying how I have it. So, having it in different forms. Like I have frozen corn, I have home canned corn, and I have store canned corn. Mushrooms. I have home canned mushrooms and I have canned mushrooms, and I have freeze dried mushrooms and dried mushrooms. Actually, I have both. Carrots. I have carrots, home canned carrots. I have carrots in a store bought can, and I have frozen carrots. So having things in multiple places. So that you have different options when you're cooking. For me, I have a fair amount of people that have asked me about meal planning. I know a lot of people that meal plan, and it works for them. For me, it doesn't work because I don't know what my day is going to be like from day to day. So, by the end of my work day, and by the time I get home, I commute for an hour each way. So by the time I get home, the energy level that I have left determines what we're going to have for dinner. That's really the reality. So if I have 15 minutes of energy left in me, I'm going to make a 15-minute meal. If I'm feeling ambitious, sometimes I'll do a slower meal that might take an hour or an hour and a half. I would say typically our dinners are 30 minutes or less, and that's because I have a lot of food prepped ahead. I have home canned food. I have easier to cook foods, or I take things out in advance, or whatever the case may be. So as far as meal planning goes, I'm not your go-to guy for that. There's lots of people on the internet that do meal plans, and if that's something that you can adhere to, then go for it. But the key to meal planning is you have to adhere to it. So if you don't think you're the type of person that can go out and do a meal plan, whether it be for a week, 2 weeks, or a month, and adhere to that meal plan, then it's not for you. Because otherwise what you do is you end up buying a specific set of foods, and as soon as you veer away from your meal plan, your food is out of whack, and then you end up making emergency trips to the store, which ends up being more money spent, and so on and so forth. So the key to building the pantry and getting extra and getting stock is to avoid unnecessary spending and focus your money on feeding your family and putting a little extra by anytime you can. So that's really the key. So to recap, number one, don't buy food you're not going to eat. Number two, buy more of what you already buy. And number three, what was number three? I've already lost my train of thought. Number three is, keeping things in multiple facets so that it's easier for you to use. So that's really it. That's kind of my quick and dirty pantry chat as far as how to build a pantry. I can't express it enough. I can't say it enough. I can't say it any clearer other than the key to building a pantry is buying more of what you already buy. That's it. So, I hope this was helpful. If it was, please let me know down below. If you have questions, if you guys want to talk amongst each other down below, please do. I love reading all the comments. I love seeing what other people are doing because, again, this is how I did my pantry. This is how we've gotten to where we're comfortable. What I did may not work for everybody else, but the one thing that I think is universal in a pantry is buying more of what you already buy, because that is the key to a successful pantry. Because if you are already buying it and you're already eating it, you will continue to buy and eat it, and that way no food goes to waste. I don't throw anything away out of my pantry because I use everything I buy. So again, thank you guys for coming along. I hope this was helpful, and as always, I hope you had a great day.